So how can we cultivate this relationship to the sacred? If in the traditions we are drawing from, the sacred is not partial, it is therefore not confined to temples, to rituals, or belief systems. It is all-encompassing, a living, dynamic field of existence that permeates matter, consciousness, time, and relationship. And in African cosmologies that I draw from, this is Ntu that we have mentioned before, the primordial life force, the generative presence that emanates through all that exists. And if that is so, then cultivating a relationship with the sacred is not about accessing something external. It is about recognizing and allowing the presence of this life force in everything. It is the recognition that I am because you are. I am because it is. I am because all that is is. This is Ubuntu. To cultivate the sacred then is to live inside this recognition, to perceive the self in the other and the other in self, and to act accordingly. This, of course, is not a one-time realization. This is a lifelong endeavor. And across traditions, there are structured systems, be it initiations or ritual lineages or disciplined teachings that have been developed over millennia to guide this process. These systems require knowledgeable holders, elders, and communities capable of carrying and transmitting the work. But at the same time, in this modern day, even in the absence of full systems of initiation, it remains possible to enter into relationship with the sacred in the everyday, provided one does so with rigor, with humility, and with consistency. It is an entry into alignment. It is a cosmological discipline of participation. And this requires listening. This requires listening to abandon cognitive dissonance, that inner voice or that inner noise that arises when our values and actions are misaligned. This requires listening to soften into cognitive deference, the humility to yield to wisdom beyond our dominant design. This requires listening to enter into cognitive resonance, a state where the mind, the body, the spirit, and the cosmos are tuned to a deeper knowing. This is an invitation into presence. The first movement is not practice, it is attention. It is an invitation to notice breath, to notice body, to notice the space you or I are in, to recognize the relationships we are already inside of. If the sacred is a living field, then it is already present. The question is whether you are perceptually available to it. And so this is where cultivation begins, not in the belief, but in attention disciplined over time. The sacred is an invitation into responsibility and stewardship. And from attention emerges a second movement, the movement of responsibility. This is not obligation that is imposed from outside, but recognition arising from relationship. If you are because others are, then your life is already structured by the people you're connected to, the land you're situated in, the histories you're inheriting, and the systems you're participating in. The invitation of sacredness is to take stewardship within all of these relationships. It is to ask what is mine to care for, what requires repair, and what requires protection or continuity. And in ancient traditions, the sacred stabilizes where there is right relationship. Where there's misalignment, be it social, ecological, or ancestral, that breeds disruption. So cultivation is not separate from how we live. It is expressed in how we maintain and